Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how to use levels to adjust the amount of highlights and shadows in your work. So I've got the picture open, we go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, Levels, just press OK. And the levels are the shadows, which are here on the left, the midtones, and all the highlights. So at the minute we can see there's not that many highlights on this side. So what I'm going to do is just experiment with the midtones. That makes all your middle colours lighter. I'm actually going to make them a tiny little bit darker, and it'll make my image look a bit sharper. I think the shadows don't need to be made any darker, so I don't need to drag that up. But I would like my highlights to be a little bit brighter. I'm going to move my midtones again. So now you can see I've got more highlights because there was less there. Maybe I'll just try and move my shades a tiny bit to the right. I'm happy with that. Now, what I did then was just clicked on layers. So double click on layers, and if there's part of your photograph that you don't want the levels to apply to, you click on this layer mask, this white box. And if you remember to use the layer mask, you select the brush tool or press B on your keyboard. And if the mask is white and my brush is white down here, nothing will happen. So if I press X on my keyboard, that swaps the two colours around. So I need my brush to be black for it to take any effect. It's going to make my brush a bit bigger. Wherever I paint on here with my brush, you can see it's painted through the mask, and that means I can see the layer underneath. Okay, so if there's part of your image that you don't want the levels to apply to, paint onto the layer mask with the black brush. Now if you've done something you don't like it, just make the brush white again. So I'll press X on my keyboard. I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger and paint over that. So I've got my picture underneath. I think that's all of it. If you're not sure, you can double check that. If there's any black bits left on it, you've missed some. But that's all white, so I think it's done.